Welcome everyone to Western Mass News Digital Edition. I'm Chris Pisano.
And I'm Amanda Martin Ryan. A man is dead and 2 children are safe following a house fire in Springfield's Indian Orchard neighborhood. Fire crews battling flames at a 2-story house on Essex Street late this morning. Firefighters rescued 2 young children from the backyard and they found a man on the 2nd floor. Crews gave him CPR before taking him to Bay State Medical Center where he was pronounced dead. Investigators haven't said yet if those multiple fires are suspicious, and the cause is still under investigation. Crews returned to the Connecticut River this morning to continue their search for the body of a man who are now being told fell from the Mueller Bridge. Now, this was the scene this morning on the bridge and the surrounding areas as crews went back to work, this time utilizing drones. Law enforcement officials telling us that a state trooper on their way to work noticed a man on the bridge yesterday afternoon. They say authorities had received word to be on alert about a man who was despondent in the area. We're told that trooper tried to speak with the man before he fell into the river. The Mueller Bridge reopened last night just before 6 after being closed for several hours. The wake for Uxbridge police officer Stephen Laporta is currently taking place. The officer was killed while working in the line of duty early last Wednesday morning, so a week ago. Flags with black ribbons placed on are being flown at half-staff in his memory, along with a logo of the police department with Laporta's badge number 31 on it. The funeral service is tomorrow at 11 a.m. at St. Mary's Church in Franklin, followed by the burial back in Uxbridge. All are open to the public. Officer Laporta leaves behind a wife and his 13-year-old son.
An investigation is now underway in Chicopee after a shooting in Springfield. Now, it all began when Chicopee police received a be on the lookout alert from the Springfield Police Department for a car involved in a shooting. Shortly after, officers found the car on Ludlow Road in Chicopee, leading to several people being detained. Police say there is no threat to the public, and this is a story we're actively following, so stick with us as we get you answers.
Northampton Fire and Rescue, along with the help of Mass State Police's bomb squad, responded to a report of a suspicious device back on January 5th. The device was believed to have been part of anti-theft systems from an old safe. Attempts to breach the safe would release the contents of the device. In most cases, the contents would turn out to be a chemical that could cause injury or illness. It was determined that the substance in these tubes was a form of tear gas, and the device was later secured for safe disposal.
All right, it has been another mild day across the valley. We're sitting at 47 degrees in Springfield now. Make it 7 in a row, up over 40. And a lot of clouds today, but very little rainfall. Just a couple of spotty showers here and there. And as we head into the evening, there'll be a few more spotty showers around. But that's about it. I mean, in terms of any meaningful precipitation. And it looks like tomorrow that front's going to slow down, which means we'll probably squeeze in another 40-degree reading tomorrow before we turn colder after that. But right now, we're 47 in Springfield, 48 in Hartford, and 50 right now down at New Haven. We can thank that breeze coming in out of the south. And we do have showers trying to make their way through the area. We've seen these sprinkles in the valley and a few showers across the hill towns. This is all lifting to the north. And if anything, it kind of just lifts on out of the area, as you can see from your 24. So overnight tonight, some early showers, and then it's just cloudy tonight. Temps in the upper 30s to near 40 degrees. And tomorrow, we're still out ahead of the front, which means temperatures come back up into the lower 40s. And it's not till mid-afternoon and as we go into the evening that the front will come on through, and then it will turn colder after that. But it looks like we'll squeeze up into the mid-40s again tomorrow, low to mid-40s anyway. Then the front comes through in the afternoon, and then get ready for the colder weather. Couple of systems here, but we're in between them. One offshore, one off to the west. Look at the one to the west. It kind of just brings all that snow shower activity off to the north, and it kind of just falls apart. But the cold front does move through, and that will kick up the winds tomorrow night into Friday. So Friday's going to be cold, and it will be windy as well, with gusts maybe up over 30 miles per hour. All told, we're only going to pick up about a 1/10 of an inch of rainfall. So highs tomorrow, still in the mid-40s, upper 30s across the hill towns. Then the colder air works in for Friday. Highs Friday, upper 20s and lower 30s. But with that wind, it is going to feel quite a bit colder. So we're going to start to feel the wind chills dropping tomorrow evening into tomorrow night, so that by Friday morning, The feel-like temps will be in the single digits, even below 0 across the hill towns. And with gusty breezes on Friday, it's going to feel pretty cold out there with temps near 30, 20s in the hills. But those feel-like temperatures will be in the teens and lower 20s. It now looks like Saturday we're going to have a weak system moving through, which could give us some snow showers or some light snow on Saturday, with temperatures cooler because of that, likely in the 30s. Doesn't look like a big storm, but it might bring us some of the snow showers. We're thinking maybe Saturday night, but it's probably going to come in on Saturday, and that could bring us some coatings to maybe an inch the way it looks now. And then Sunday, we would dry it out. It'd be blustery, and it will be chilly as we go into your Sunday. We are watching for Sunday night. Some models suggest an ocean storm that could bring us snow. Other models leave it out to sea. Still several days away, but we'll circle Sunday night into Monday for the potential of some snow as we draw closer to it. Of course, Monday being the holiday, with temperatures behind that system. Either way, whether it stays way offshore or whether we get something out of it, it is going to be cold next week. Teens and 20s for highs, at least for the middle of next week. All right, that's your forecast. We'll see you again at 4 o'clock. Amanda and Chris, back over to you.
All right, Dan, thank you. The hottest ticket in Los Angeles might be a couple years away. Registration to enter the lottery to buy tickets for the 2028 Olympic events is now open. Actual tickets don't go on sale until the spring, though.
To get those buyers, you must first create profiles on la28.org. Registering for the ticket lottery is free, but it's only open to residents of LA, Orange, Riverside, and Ventura counties. For, I'm guessing, most of our audience, that would mean we are excluded.
I was going to say, I had my hopes up until we got to the end of that.
No. So sorry,
Well,
you're out of luck.
Maybe if you move to LA before the spring. That's all the time we have for today. Thanks for watching today's Western Mass News Digital Edition.
Be sure to tune in to Western Mass News at 4, coming up soon on ABC 40. Have a great day. Move to California.